Here, nice to have you here. A couple of you asked where my wife is. If you haven't met Inez, that's Inez. So say hello. And while I'm thinking about it, thanks to Eileen and Susan for pulling all this off. I don't know, Eileen is probably inside. Thanks for all of the logistics and things. Welcome to our home. We're here to celebrate Sandra's career at Hopkins. I have to be careful because Sandra really put me on notice early on. She didn't want anything big or fancy. She would have really liked to just kind of not have any of this. And so it's a little risky to do this. I say I have to be careful because she's sort of changing roles here, and I think of this more as a graduation than it is a goodbye party, because she's moving from the role where she's taking the complaints of the alumni and why is my name tag wrong and all of this, to the role where now she's going to be making those phone calls. And she's already put me on notice to that effect. So I'm going to be very, very nice today. I want her to remember how nice I actually am, so that the phone calls are directed to others who maybe aren't quite this nice. But you all know Sandra and Jeff, and what a family affair this really is. Sandra, a graduate of Arts and Sciences, Jeff, a graduate, and Jeff coached lacrosse for a while, and daughter Emily, I still like hearing the story, and you can ask Jeff about it later. Emily met her husband, or the first date, I guess, didn't meet him there, but the first date was actually at Steinwald. With Ben, her current husband, right? And Jeff can tell you why later. You can ask him why that was important. But Sandra's really kind of had this amazing career at Hopkins that was interrupted for a period of time while she went and raised her own family. But in a sense, kind of come full circle from the time where she was doing financial aid. And Fritz and I were talking about this earlier now. Some of those kids that you interacted with in the 80s now have families of their own and are getting ready to have Hopkins students of their own. And it traveled, I was thinking today about how many miles on airplanes you must have put on for Hopkins business. But the scary part wasn't the miles, it was how many crab cakes you've probably eaten on Hopkins business. It would be fun to just estimate that someday. I couldn't. So we're gonna miss you, and we're gonna miss you in this role. We're not gonna miss you for very long. But a couple of people who wanted to kind of talk and commemorate your time at Hopkins. Marguerite, you're gonna go first.
Yes.
Go ahead.
But on behalf of our Alumni Relations Office, the current and former members, some are here this evening, I wanted to wish Sandra all the best in her retirement from Johns Hopkins. In her new position at the law offices of Jeffrey Gray, her ever-increasing grandparenting responsibilities, and just enjoying life. We first met 13 years ago at Steinwald House, where she began part-time, and the other part-time was across the street on 33rd and Diz, which is, of course, the current business services. It wasn't before long that she moved into Steinwald House full-time, and then, of course, her career skyrocketed, and the rest is more than a decade of devotion and dedication to development and alumni relations. Your first alumni event, I believe, was the Atlanta Crab Feast. And because of your being such a loyal Blue Jay, you decided to extend your retirement date just a few days in order to staff the Atlanta Crab Feast one last time. And that's where she's going next Sunday. Coming in Monday to turn in her receipts, and then go on. But we all thank you for your leadership and graceful, elegant style. Whether guiding us through staff meetings, strategic planning, alumni council events, the credit card negotiations, the move to San Martin Center, or managing lost alumni travelers in Italy, managing individual alumni who demand a sign at the front of our building, or overseeing the legendary Steinwald Holiday Party. You have been a terrific leader for us and for Johns Hopkins alumni. We will miss you, but know you look forward to more time with your family, putting fewer miles on your car every day, helping at Jeff's practice, gardening, cooking, sailing, traveling, and so on. look forward to your first event with you on the other side of the name tag table. Perhaps your reunion next year. I know you graciously offered to serve on the 35th reunion committee next year. We will also look forward to the first time you call us, wanting to know how to log on to the new alumni directory. Marcel will be ready and able to assist you. So we will miss you, but we know you won't be a stranger. And thank you. It's been great working with you all these years.
Here, here.
Sandra, I do bring you the greetings of Joyce and Jim Miller, who wanted to be here and are traveling, and also from our president, Jerry Peterson, who asked me to read this to you. Thanks, Gray, for reading this. I won't put too much pressure on, so this will be brief. I am so sorry to miss your executive director send-off party in big caps. A little get-together planned to help orient you to what you can expect in the next few years. But no, we can't tell you that. It would subject us all to the ugly green monster of envy. You already know that I will miss you. The Alumni Association will also miss you, but we are all the better for everything you've done to strengthen the association and its programs. We know the association is on more solid footing, and we hope to continue your legacy of love for JHU and its talented graduates. So Sandra, no one says it better than Garrison Kaler. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch. From Jim. Absolutely the right person in the right place at the right time. These last few years have needed a steady hand to guide us through a lot of change, and she has a rare talent that I envy and wish I could emulate, of working equally well with staff, volunteers, vendors, higher-ups, students. Sometimes it's like herding cats, especially with the volunteers. But I think that both she and Jeff really are and exemplify Johns Hopkins. And we really are envious of the ability to go to work in flip-flops and shorts and really enjoy your grandchildren and really spend time with each other. I get a little advantage also because Vermont's still in Florida, so they'll be down in Florida fairly often, we hope. And we hope that if you put the pins in the map that you try and visit the rest of the 23 chapters you haven't visited yet. And the other 20 of the 20 international chapters, you've been to several of those, and that could probably fill up a couple of years as well. And you mentioned the 35th reunion. In 2011, the Alumni Association is 125. So one of my first duties, I think, as president-elect will be to appoint a committee for that. I can't think of anyone with a little more institutional memory than you and Margaret to do it. Actually, on behalf of all the volunteers, we do wish you fair winds, following seas, and a great retirement. Really been great.